biggest thing for me was resilience is also, a lot of people talk about being successful, achieving your goals. People don't really talk about the other side of that, what happens when you do achieve your goals.
Yeah.
There's a lot of depression that people have, like Olympic athletes on the other end of the Olympics. Elite athletes. Yeah.
Like the highs of it, and then just like.
Yeah. And the thing is, that's what you see yourself as being. So you dedicate everything to it, and all of a sudden it's not there. And it's like you actually have to redefine yourself. Now, it is exactly like that when you reach your so-called life goals. Now, when we sort of come up with our life goals, we're kids. So those life goals, one, may not actually be yours. They may be a great influence from your parents or people around you, or you wanting to prove that you can do this or can do that.
Yeah.
So they don't tend to be really what you want for yourself, I find, and you work so hard to achieve what you think others want you to be. The other thing too is there are things that happen in your life that make you feel that you need to do certain things to be safe, or to be able to do other things that you want to do in your life. You need to first achieve this or that. So it's been interesting because the goals I set out for myself as a child, like basically as a child, I achieved them in my 30s. Like I didn't think I would be doing anything that I'm doing now. Yeah. So you've got to reassess who you are. And I'd say that's similar to being an athlete or anything else. Yeah. Being in the army, there's people that I think when you feel that you've hit the pinnacle of your life, it's going to be bad for you if you're still alive at the other end, because you're going to wonder what it's all about. Yeah. So one thing that you mentioned past the army, and my question's probably all over the place a little bit, but I'll let you keep me on track, is that martial arts was something where I saw old people, wearing red belts, like in judo or whatever, big 10th dans, and people had respect for them, and they were part of the community still, and they held the key to the history of what you were doing as young people. And they couldn't do it like young people, but their mind was so far down the track, and if they gave people the understanding of what they knew, and young bodies could achieve what those skilled and experienced minds could pass on, that to me just was a perfect way for humans to be. Your body's breaking down, but your mind is incredibly advanced. All you need is people to understand that you can pass that information on, so that the younger generation can achieve great things, and we keep helping each other do that. So I think that was the big thing for me, realizing that no matter what's happening, as I get older and as my body breaks down, I'm simply going through the same process as others that have come before me. And it's going to be more about leadership, direction, holding to what's important, guidance, and creating leaders. And then once you're a leader, then you need to create more leaders, and then it just moves along and along. So it's very different to what I originally expected, but I think that original mindset when I was young has really held strong for me, that I've always seen myself far beyond the things that I've achieved, because of that feeling of, as I get older, I'm sort of moving along, and there's a place for me when I'm an old man. I think our modern society, we tend to have this throw-out society, including people. So these older people, off they go to a home and things like that. It's just, to me, it makes no sense. And there needs to be more community. So that's another thing with resilience. There's two things that science has sort of put its finger on that can say, well, two factors that will determine longevity with life. One is smoking tobacco. Like, there's a lot of things you can do, and do you survive it, not survive it? it comes down to genetics and different things, but tobacco smoking is proven to shorten your life. And some people it may not, but majority of people, it will have an effect on your life. And the next thing is social connection. So you lose that social connection. So that's why for us, you know, I can see why veteran suicide, a lot of that is just a breakdown in social connection. And I don't think the answer is the RSL club playing the pokies and having a drink with your mates. I think the answer is being productive, and that's why the Combatives Program, we've got this civilian element that works with the community. Veterans can be a part of it. People who are wanting to join the Defence Force can be a part of it. And it's sort of an ongoing thing that there's this mentorship from the young to the old. And the Army is just in the mix if you want it to be. And but the Army is the reflection of the culture that I once believed in, which was, like I say, it's very different. It was about accountability as an individual. If you made a mistake, you got done for that, and that's just how it was. It wasn't like, you know, oh, one person's made a mistake, well, we need to create a new rule for everybody now, because, you know, because people find it hard to or struggle to confront somebody. So, you know, this is the thing. You've got to be able to keep people on track and have consequences for mistakes, but consequences doesn't mean destroy people. It means build them up. Like there's a consequence so that they become more efficient, stronger, more capable.